Hello folks, fellas and or females, I'm Dandy. Hope you're having a good day, night, evening, afternoon, morning, another period of time incomprehensible to more kind. Speed! That is not merely a measure of distance over time to me. It is my very core, my being. Faster than fast, quicker than quick, a mere blink enough to miss the sight of me entirely and only catch the aftermath of my movement. A trail of fire caused by the friction in my feet. Nothing could ever even dare attempt to slow me down, let alone catch me. I am immortal! This game sucks! Welcome to the second part of my comprehensive beginner's guide to fighting, where I'll be going from talking about arguably the easiest class to arguably the hardest. Skateboard, skateboard. First try. Skateboard has two separate movesets, on his board and off his board. I'll be covering them separately to avoid confusion. His offboard passive, Sluggish, has him just gaining movement speed as long as he's walking. Pretty simple. His offboard M1, Swing It, has you swing your skateboard in front of you, dealing pretty good DPS but draining a bit of that extra movement speed from your passive each swing. His offboard M2, Bash Him, has him swinging his skateboard but with no windup. You can charge this ability to make it deal up to triple its normal damage, and having it stun for a bit. But remember, the second you get full charge for it, you swing, so you can't just hold it down and wait. His offboard Q, Run, has him dashing forward, dealing contact damage. You do more damage at the start of the dash than the end, but the difference is pretty low, so don't worry about it too much. Alright, let's move on to Onboard. His onboard passive, Stuntish, is complicated. Instead of moving normally with WASD and whatnot, you constantly move forward and have to turn your camera in order to switch directions. Your speed is based off a little speedometer in the middle of your screen, and it can be increased and decreased in a few ways. Going up ramps decreases it, going down ramps increases it, etc. But the real gimmick here is tricking. You can jump off ledges in order to trick. Tricks have you jump much higher and give you a burst of speed when you land on the ground after doing them. This is the best and most reliable way to get speed. God, I'm gonna be saying on and off board a lot, aren't I? Hey, Kunes! Yeah, can I get a counter, please? Thanks! His onboard M1, Push It, has him pushing on a skateboard. This gives him a bit of speed as well as doing a bit of contact damage after using it for a bit. It's recommended that you just hold this down constantly. It won't cancel any of their moves, and it's just a reliable way to keep up your speed. Yeah. His onboard M2, Kick'em, has you do a sick, radical, ultra cool kickflip, sending you into the air and doing damage, as well as stunning in an area around you. If you use this after using a trick before you hit the ground, you'll do extra damage when you hit the ground, as well as gaining an increase to the trick's speed boost. His onboard Q, Boost, has him making your speed a set amount with no delay, but the set amount is really low. How do we fix that? Well, you can charge it up. The longer you charge, the more speed you get from the boost, but you'll be completely halted and stuck midair while charging up, so don't do it in front of a crowd. Now, you might have noticed I haven't mentioned the E yet for either moveset. That's because it's pretty complicated. His E switch has you switching between on and off board. When switching from off to on board, the speed you have while off board will carry over to the speed you have while on board. When switching from on to off board, you'll halt all momentum and stop right there. That is, unless you hold down E, in which case you'll quickly deaccelerate and do a sweeping attack that does damage based off your speed on board. Alright, let's get the moveset over with. His finisher, the Cool Rad Coffin, yes that is its actual name, has you stuck in place for a few seconds, similarly to your Q, before you boost off in a jet of speed, stunning and dealing damage to anyone in your path. You can click in order to boost early, which won't have any negative effect, so it's basically recommended. And using this ability will automatically set you to onboard no matter what state you were in when you activated the ability. Alright, baby, let's move on to tips. Woo! 1. Don't be afraid to slow things down. Sometimes you're moving faster than you're thinking, and when that happens, there's about a 90% chance you'll skate into a map hazard of some kind. 2. Don't use only one mode. Skateboard's based around constantly switching between both on and offboard. On to get in and out of situations, and off to do a ton of burst damage. Plus, your shield won't regen while on board, so... yeah. 3. Work with your team. Out of all the melees, Skate is by far the most support-centered, with his stuns and whatnot. Hey, remember what I said in the sword video about not being a one-man army? Yeah, that applies here too. It's fun to skate around, I know, I get it, but don't get too carried away, or else you're gonna find yourself in the middle of the entire enemy team. 5. Coils are your best friend. They are the only ones who can reliably heal you, and if you can manipulate... I mean, convince one to give you a speed boost, well, just let the primal ADHD instincts take over, yeah? Boom! Skateboard is done! Boom! Skateboard is done. One of the most complex and hard to learn classes, unless you're, like, really into Mario Kart, I guess. Minecraft's next, and he's the other little fast gremlin that everyone in the community hates. I know for a fact that there's a not-so-little, not-so-fast gremlin that I hate! But that's besides the point. Have a dandy day, folks.